Hey everyone, welcome back to the GCCC. And today, your host, Doge Paints, is going to be talking about the gross truth about food waste. And in today's episode, we're going to dive into the statistics and the places that your food go and how you can help stop and be a part of the prevention of food waste emissions and production. So, if you're ready, you have your snacks, you have your water, then let's dive into the, this episode of The Gross Truth. The shocking numbers. One third of all food produced globally is wasted, 1.3 billion tons every year. $1 trillion worth of food is wasted annually, and over 25% of freshwater consumption worldwide is used to grow food that ends up being wasted. And in this picture right here, more than a third of worldwide food production is wasted each year, which amounts roughly to 1.3 billion tons of food waste, which is one third, essentially. Why does food waste happen? Farm to fork, losses during farming, storage, and transportation, and in supermarkets. Consumer habits, over purchasing, improper storage, and confusion over expiration dates and labels. Cultural expectations, perfect looking produce versus ugly fruits and vegetables. Which basically sums up to, in this picture, it shows these fruits that and vegetables and etc. But it shows that they're kind of imperfect, might have a few black spots, might not look the best or the best color or the best texture or the best this and that and the other. But what that shows is how much the perfect label and the perfect standards can really mess up how much we waste and what we think is acceptable in terms of food. And what I've learned is that perfect is imperfect. So the next time you go to the store, just think about how those imperfect shaped foods and fruits and vegetables are, and go for those because those are the ones that are ultimately going to be wasted if somebody does not collect them. The environmental impact. Food wasted globally is 33% of all food produced is wasted, which is shown in this key food waste statistics slash percentage slash category diagram right here. Greenhouse gas contribution. Food waste accounts for 10% of global emissions, which doesn't sound like a lot, but if you're taking 10% and then out of our whole earth, and our earth is, we're like not even 1% of the mass of earth, and you think 10%, that is a big number. Household waste accounts for 40% of food waste that occurs in homes. So basically, what that means is that a lot of people, they don't save their leftovers and they end up throwing them in the trash, which contributes to landfill waste, which is what causes the global emissions. Food waste recovery potential. 25% of wasted food could feed 1.2 billion people. And keep in mind, there's only 828 million people that need food. We can almost double that with 1 billion billion people if we just recovered 25% of wasted food. Food waste and world hunger. 828 million people go hungry each day while food is wasted. And again, if we just save 25% of wasted food, we could feed double the amount, 1.2 billion hungry people. In a world where 82 million go hungry every year, food waste should not be an option. It just isn't an option. And it's not fair to those people who go hungry each year. So I want you to think about your leftovers and about other food that you don't want. If you know that you're not going to eat it, then maybe go give it to a shelter or find some homeless people around your area and maybe around the highways and streets, and just offer them some food, because you might honestly be saving a life from starvation. Food waste in households. 30 to 40% of food waste occurs at home. Common culprits are leftovers, spoiled food, and overbuying. Small actions like meal planning can make a difference. So ways to prevent food waste at home are: you can freeze your ripe fruits or veggies before they go bad. That way we don't have some common culprits like spoiled food. Cook only what is needed for the meal you are preparing. So instead of overbuying and over analyzing how much you need, and maybe like, I should get 5 just in case instead of 1 for the recipe. Instead, just get 1 for that recipe, because it can help reduce our overbuying and help you save money. Save leftovers in portion-ready containers to eat later in the week, which is a good way to store leftovers, and reuse your leftovers. This will help empty the fridge before your next shopping trip. That way you don't have to overbuy and you don't have to throw out a ton of food. And again, if you are not going to eat the leftovers, give them to your local homeless shelter, because 100% those people will appreciate you so much for that, especially with how much they're going through and how much they can't afford usual regular food. The gross part: where food goes. In landfills, wasted food rots and releases harmful gases called methane. In some countries, food is left to rot while people suffer from food insecurity. And food insecurity is basically starvation, no food, food stamps, all of that. Wasted food causes 58% of methane emissions from municipal solid waste landfills, which is very massive, especially whenever it comes to food, because in terms of the overbuying and all of that goes to the landfill, and it's 58% of the methane emissions that come from the landfill. That's more than half, which is just outrageous, because we still have 828 million people starving on the street. So again, guys, just try really hard this week and in the future, and think before you throw away your food. Just think about this video and remember some of the steps you can take to prevent people from not only going hungry, but also from preventing methane emissions that hurt our earth and yourself. Pioneers in food waste solution. Anaerobic digestion. Turning food waste into energy, which is like biofuel. If you've ever heard about biofuel, it's basically where you can take your food waste and use parts of it to make fuel that is a sort of energy. I'd say research more on that. I might make a video and research on it myself so I can produce that for y'all so y'all know what biofuel is and what they mean by anaerobic digestion. Food recovery networks, rescuing surplus food for those in need. As I said, if you have leftovers and you know you're not going to eat them, or you probably won't, or something comes up and this and that and the other, just think about your local homeless shelters, or think about like food drives and people on the streets. Give that those leftovers to them, because they will appreciate it so much, and you might save a life. Composting, nature's recycling into enriched soils. And in this diagram right here, it shows kind of a cycle of composting, which are the food scraps. You can collect the food scraps, you compost, and then the compost is used locally, and locally grown produce goes into the food scraps. And all in all, it's a process that keeps going and going, and it really does help reduce methane emissions and food waste that contributes to our landfills. The global movement. UN goal 12.3, have food by 2030. And let me remind you, it's almost the end of 2024, 2025. 5 years from now, it'll be 2030. And we have the power to halve the food waste, but we all have to help contribute. Just like the businesses, governments, and other consumers are all part of the solution. If we can work together, we can halve per capita global food waste by 2030 at the retail and consumer levels, and reduce food losses along production and supply chains, including post-harvest losses. Now, you can pause the video and read the rest of these if you would like. You can also go to UN.org, Sustainable Development, Sustainable Consumption Production, the link typed in the photo, and you can check out more of their goals. But let's move on. This is how you can help today. You can join a composting group or make one, just like I did. Volunteer with food banks. As I said, go to a food bank, go to homeless shelters, all of that, and you can again help save lives with food. Just with food scraps, just with food waste, or leftovers, or anything. Advocate for policy changes in your community. If there's a mayor, or if there's a president, or if there's any form of higher power or political, or even just in your own families, if you realize that you're not doing what's best for you and you want to make a change, or you want somebody that does want to make a change, you should look at their policies and, just compare them to others, and maybe they'll have something that fits what you need and what you want for our earth and for you, and you should go for it. And then for children, because these are some things that adults can do, but sometimes children can't do that. So 10 things that a child could do. I only have 5 things listed so far. But you can bike or walk whenever possible to school. Recycle. That is a very big one. Please recycle your paper, your cardboard. your metal, your trash, all of that, and turn off the lights when not in use. So whenever I'm not using my lights, I switch them off. Don't litter. Please do not litter. If there is a trash can nearby, or if there isn't, just hold your stuff or throw it away, and it's much better because it'll not hurt the environment. Please do not litter. Take a shower instead of a bath to conserve water, which is actually a very big one. And I know most kids by middle school are usually just taking showers, not baths. Even the little kids, and even if you are still taking baths, just remember maybe that a shower instead could help save our planet. Every step counts. And a call to action plus thank you. Like, share, and subscribe to learn more about sustainable living. Comment below what's one way you can reduce food waste at home, and let's fight for food waste together. Let's grow. As you can see, our symbol, Green Cycle Compost Community. You can visit us at our YouTube channel, the Green Cycle Compost Community. You can visit my Instagram, which is at George Paints. My Twitter/X is nom872218825 or the Green Cycle Compost Community. And my Gmail is dogepaints@gmail.com /Green Cycle Compost Community @gmail.com. Either one you can message, and I should be able to message you back. Anyways, I really hope you enjoyed this episode, or this video, I guess you could say, of the Green Cycle Compost Community and learning the gross truth about food waste. And I hope you have a nice day/night. And just remember to conserve, reduce, reuse, recycle, and let's save our planet. Doge Paints out.